This might shock you. Fat influencers are dying. By the way, you may not know this. One of my best friends on this earth, his name is Shinya. He's very fat. He's very, very, very large. So I offered him $10,000 to lose 65 pounds in 3 months, and currently in a week and a half, he's already down 10 pounds. So feel free to go check him out on Twitch or on YouTube to see his weight loss journey. I very much want him to be healthy, as I know he can be. Let's get into it. Fat influencers are dying.
Obesity is the leading cause of death in the USA, but that didn't seem to worry these influencers too much.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, bro. Holy shit. I'm surprised my computer can handle loading these images on my PC. They're so large.
As they made money eating vast quantities of junk food, opened salons to cater to morbidly obese clients, and even dedicated their lives to proving that you can be healthy at every size.
Can you imagine the smell of one of these fat fucks? They walk for like 30 minutes. They're dripping in sweat. And then you take their belly and you lift it up where like all like the cheese and the crumbs come out, and you put your head right above their genitals and you just take a big whiff. Can you imagine like the steam, the dampness, the fucking goo, the gunk, the schmegma smell that just radiates out? It'd probably burn your eyebrows off your body.
Unfortunately though, all of these influencers met the same fate, and we will start with the youngest.
Wow, they all died from being morbidly obese. Guys, you know what the word morbidly means? It means on, like, fatal. Let me Google this word. Characterized by an unusual interest in disturbing and unpleasant subjects, especially in death and disease. It's a disease. You are so fat, it's a fucking disease. Maybe we want to fix that by going to the gym.
Influencer on our list who made thousands creating his mukbang content until it cost him the ultimate price. Effan Cultur was a body positive mukbanger who made his living by eating vast quantities of food.
Body positive. So let me translate that. A lazy fat piece of shit who decided to accept themselves for who they are because they're too useless to do something about it. Go to the gym. Stop being fat. Change from full calorie soda to diet soda and just walk a little bit and you'll get better. And I'm saying this because if you're sitting here getting your feelings upset, I'm saying this because I want you to not die. I will tell you what your family and friends won't tell you. You are fat as fuck and you need to lose weight or you're going to die. Just walk a little bit, man. It's not that hard.
Online. Despite his aged appearance, obviously due to his massive weight, he was just 24 years old at the time of these images. His TikTok page had amassed over 188,000 followers, with his content consisting of simply recording himself eating meals. Effan was from Turkey, which has a bit of a reputation for being one of the most obese countries in the world.
That's shocking. I assumed America was for how often we get shit on for being fat.
61% of the population are overweight, with 32% of those being obese.
Jesus.
The big factor of this is the food that is traditional in Turkey, with the biggest culprit being the traditional doner kebab.
Oh, that looks so good. I don't blame them.
On top of each other and sliced
oh
in
my God!
Style. These kebabs are just covered in oil, which stacks up the calories and makes it incredibly easy to gain weight, which is something that Effan had no trouble doing. He didn't seem to mind gaining so much weight though, as it was allowing him to live.
Okay, genuine question. Genuine question. And I'm not trying to be that guy. Is that his dog or is that a snack? Like, is that lunch or is that his dog?
Seemed to mind gaining so much weight though, as it was allowing him to live a lifestyle of eating out at high-end restaurants and earning a living without needing a traditional job. This wouldn't last forever though, as his awful eating habit would soon catch up with him, with disastrous consequences. In December 2024, he was hospitalized due to his weight and the related issues that followed along, but was sent home and was allowed to continue getting his healthcare there. On the 31st of January, Effan uploaded a video of himself getting some sort of treatment and physio. The caption reading, continuing treatment at full throttle. But as it turns out, this
continuing treatment. How about we just close our mouth? You know what I'm saying? Like, just close your mouth and the issue would go away.
Treatment he was receiving wouldn't help too much. In his last TikToks, he was shown just lying in bed as his massive size meant he wasn't able to get up. So
dude, how do you become this and say I love who I am? How do you become this and your family looks you in the eyes and says you're perfect the way you are? Being supportive like that isn't kind. It's horrible. That's like saying, no, it's okay, buddy. You may be an alcoholic, but you've had a hard life. Take another drink. It's fucking terrible.
He wasn't
It's
able
terrible.
to get up, suffering breathing problems and mobility issues. And just 3
It's
months
fucked
on
up.
from his initial hospitalization,
You're not a good
on the
person for
7th of
enabling
March,
someone's bad
Effan
behaviors.
lost his life due to presumed heart failure. Now,
Presumed? Well, yeah, it can't fucking move. It's boxed in.
although Effan didn't speak too much in his videos, the next influencer to lose their life was massively outspoken about her views on fat acceptance, even running a podcast to talk about health at every size. Dr. Kat Paus was an American academic and a self-proclaimed fat activist, having degrees in philosophy and sociology, with her dissertation exploring the stigma society holds against fat people. While
Fat people are dehumanized by society and discriminated against by our society. This person says that I should lose weight because I'm 500 pounds. They're racist. What are we doing here, man? Like, what? When you're eating enough food to sustain 10 other people, do you not feel bad?
While yes, there's no denying that society does have a stigma against people who are obese, Kat took her beliefs a step further and argued that you can be healthy at every size, including morbidly obese, being a big name in the health at every size.
You can be healthy at every size. Guys, do they understand that that doesn't work like that. That's not how that works.
Movement. Kat found ways to monetize her fatness too.
That's crazy how women glorify being 500 pounds, but then shit on men for being below 5'10".
Which is her own words, not mine, with one of them being launching the Friends of Marilyn podcast. And she actually ended up traveling the world, interviewing other obese people for her show. The key point of her studies and her shows was that fat people aren't being given the same rights as average weight people, claiming that people are rejected housing and even fired from their jobs.
Well, they're not rejected housing. They just didn't build a house big enough to fit them in it.
Too large. She actually wrote a study titled I Don't Care About Health, where she claims that she's always had a sneaking suspicion that despite being morbidly obese, there was actually nothing wrong with her body health-wise. In the same document, she wanted to convince people that being fat doesn't actually make you unhealthy, but provides zero supporting evidence for this. However, we would soon have some—
Well, yeah, she did. She said, because that's how I feel. And in today's day and age, that's all that matters. Well, I feel this way, and if you don't believe me, that's because you're fat phobic. No, bitch. It's called statistics and science.
Very strong evidence that went against this claim. Like I said in the introduction, obesity is the biggest cause.
Women actually like men under 180 centimeters. They're usually their best friends. Yeah, dude. Yep, you're so right. Absolutely. Yep, 100%.
Of death in the USA. The numbers on it are actually staggering too, with almost 3/4 of the American population being obese. Over 70 million adults are classed as it. Honestly, these numbers should be a wake-up call to change your habits. And I do have a completely free newsletter that I send out every Friday, sharing healthy recipes which are high in protein and low in calories. Now, I know from personal experience how difficult it can be to change your eating habits, and I made this with my good friend Johnny.
I think this is great.
The goal of teaching as many people as we can to cook nutritious meals. The link is in the description to sign up, or just visit Fat Loss Kitchen. And again, this is—
I'll be so for real. Teaching people how to cook healthy is not going to make them healthy. It's not. Because people are fat because they're lazy. So saying, oh, you can just be fat by being active, that's not how that works. You need to make them be convenient, right? So teach fat people around them where they can get healthy food or healthier food conveniently, and the same level of convenience. Like a great place in Austin is you can get this place called Honest Mary's delivered right to you, order a meal prep service, or pick up some of the pre-cooked meals at H-E-B, right? If you do that, that will convert a lot more because they're not ready to take that next step, metaphorically and literally. But making it convenient for them will help a lot. Like saying people like, they shouldn't drink soda, they should just drink water. Nobody wants to go from drinking the yummiest thing on the planet to nothing juice, right? That's why I always recommend diet soda from regular soda, right? Because it's about baby steps, making sustainable habits they can sustain long term.
Completely free. Now, cat paws
Water's good though. Shut the fuck up, bro. It literally tastes like nothing.
unfortunately did not change her eating habits and carried on her crusade against society for their abuse and discrimination of fat people. This was all up until 2022, when at the age of just 42 years old and living in New Zealand, she passed away in her sleep. She was
Man, I guess death is fat phobic and killed her because she was so healthy.
working as a fat studies academic at a university in New Zealand at the time, and no cause of death was officially given. This would be the same as the
The
next
cause of death is being fat.
influencer to tragically lose their life. However, his content was less academic and more about food. Waffler 69 or Taylor Lejeune was a 33-year-old food TikToker who posted videos of him eating huge and strange meals.
I started changing my diet after Tectone was on the last unsubscribed podcast. I went from 302 to 280. Bro, good shit, man. I'll be real. I've been a fatty. I was 330 pounds back in 2023. But I was down to 223. But guys, I'll be real. I'm back up to 228. And I'm not sure if it's fat gain. I'm not sure. Because now I'm really training legs. Maybe it's all muscle. No, I've been having waffles like every day, bro. I can't stop. I'm being fat. I gotta lock in. I'm being fat. I'm being a fat fuck.
Accompanied by his excitable personality. Considering he amassed over 1.9 million followers and each of his videos gained millions of views, it's safe to say he was making more than enough money to support his eating habit, and he needed it. If you take a scroll down his TikTok page, you can see that he must have been spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a month on huge meals and strange food items.
Today we're trying cookie liquor. I've got 3 McDonald's breakfast sandwiches. Which one's the best? I've got Lay's Waves Funyun Onion flavored rings. I've got 3 new pickled snacks. Let's see what they are. Loaded baked potato pickles, spicy garlic, and hot peppers. I got Serverboy pizza from the new season of Stranger Things. Let's see, what is this frozen pizza like?
Although his meals aren't as extreme as Effan
Jesus.
and he didn't share his fat positivity views like Kat did, that doesn't mean his health was any better. And you can see that Taylor was massively overweight, and his diet seemed to be the main reason for that. In a video uploaded
Well,
on the
yeah,
3rd of February,
probably.
he actually shared the screen with his brother, and commenters loved him, even calling them an iconic duo. However, the next time we would see Taylor's brother would be under very different and heartbreaking circumstances.
Hey guys, if anyone's being shared this video from another, or if you just don't know, I'm related to Waffler 69, or my brother Taylor. He has passed away around 10 p.m. on January 11th, 2023.
I wonder why the fat guy died, but his brother, who's skinny, lived.
From a presumed heart attack. He was rushed to
It's just horrible, man. It's just fucking horrible. Because society has poisoned the mind of its people to say that being fat is okay. Like, I understand if you have a fucking, like an issue, like a thyroid issue. But if you're getting there due to negligence and just lack of care or lack of education, or because people have enabled you to do so, like, it's just time to make a change. Like, I hate to be a fucking dick about it. And I know I'm being a dick about it. But I'd rather be a dick about it and get through to somebody than somebody still maintain this very dangerous lifestyle, man.
the hospital, and I want to say like an hour and a half later, he passed away.
The most shocking part is that Taylor's brother revealed that their father and grandfather died from heart failure, and
Jesus.
Taylor died of a suspected
That's
heart
awful.
attack. For the most part, Taylor was pretty uncontroversial and didn't make a big fuss about his weight or talk about it much, which is the exact opposite to Britney Sour, whose
The
entire
fuck is
personality was
that?
based around her weight. Britney Sour was another professional TikToker who was 28 years old and lived in
Jesus.
Springfield, Tennessee. Her
Ugh.
hobbies included mainly gaming, but her biggest hobby was creating videos on TikTok,
Ugh.
eating and showing off her body and supposed weight loss journey. Her TikTok account was called Sick and Tired of
What
Waiting,
the
and she
fuck?
boasted a following of almost 500,000. But the main interesting part
Yeah, I
was
wonder why her profile picture makes her look less fat. I wonder why that is. If being fat is so beautiful, I wonder why she made herself less fat. That's so weird.
her account description, which read regaining my mobility and life, BED recovery, and type 2 diabetes. Now, although she did like to make jokes about being fat, it's the second part of her bio that we should focus on, as she said herself that she was in recovery for a binge eating addiction, and genuinely did seem like she was trying to make steps to change,
That
even
sucks.
sharing her weight loss journey very openly.
Oh my god,
Good.
I am 21.6 pounds down now.
Good for her.
I'm excited. That brings me to 433.6, down from 455.2.
How the fuck you get up to How the fuck, bro? How the fuck you get up to 455, bro? What? Jesus. Never bothered sharing it, but because of you, since January this year, I've lost over 45 pounds. I got into sustainable eating habits now to keep it that way. So just letting you know, you've helped motivate at least one person. Bro, shenanigans, congrats, bro. Yeah, good for you, bro. Keep that shit up.
I'm so excited.
I will say that
That's really sad that she was actually trying to get better. That's a damn shame. That really fucking sucks. Damn.
rate that she lost weight, however, was incredibly slow, as she lost those 20 pounds that she talked about over around 150 days.
That's crazy, man. When I was in my peak of dieting, I lost 45 pounds in 1 month.
So it's clear that despite her efforts to eat in a calorie deficit and exercise, it objectively wasn't working. It seems like Britney herself knew this too, as at the end of 2022 she posted this TikTok, seeming to finally open her eyes as to just how serious her situation was becoming.
I ruined my life with food, binge eating, and lack of self-care, and I'm hoping that it's not too late for me this time.
That's actually such a shame, because if this chick was in shape, she'd actually be a baddie. That's what's crazy. Yeah. That sucks, man. That really fucking blows.
You know, I ain't been to the store in 2 years, maybe more now, I guess. I went to the post office once and that was hard. I went to
Well, isn't fat healthy? Well, some people say that.
urgent care and I thought my legs were gonna give out from under me because I had to stand there the entire time after walking in. You know, I kept just looking back at the chair and just praying that I could just make it another second.
At the start of the TikTok, Britney prays that it hasn't become too late to change, but unfortunately, that would be the case. On the 2nd of January 2023, just 6 days after the previous TikTok, Britney unfortunately passed away in her sleep, with many people pointing to a heart attack as the cause of death at the age of just 28. While Britney was making an effort to change her life, the next influencer to lose her life was in the complete opposite frame of mind.
Society makes you hate yourself if you don't look a certain way. And I am damn determined to change that.
Jamie Lopez was a 37-year-old reality TV influencer who starred in the show Supersize Salon, which, as you can probably guess, featured sassy women who were all morbidly obese. Jamie actually owned the salon behind the show too, named Baby Doll Beauty, and despite being the owner, she was pretty much completely immobile, having to greet clients while sat in her chair.
It's our new location. Today is the opening.
Jesus.
It's a few hours away. There's still things that need to be done. I'm really excited about it, and it's going to be an epic event.
Jamie also shared her reasons for launching the salon too, and they're probably what you expect.
All of our chairs are fully equipped to hold up to 800 pounds.
Jesus.
It's an experience. You know, we wanted to create an environment where big women can come and feel like we treat it like royalty instead of go through discrimination like we do when we go to like regular salons
Discrimination.
and accommodate us.
Oh my
And
God.
You use the word discrimination. Let's talk about that feeling. You said you have experienced feeling very uncomfortable or feeling, is it ostracized because of your size at times?
Absolutely. I mean, regular salons
Can
that I
you
go
hear
to
her
before I
breathing,
opened my
bro?
business, it was like to the point where I stopped going because I felt so uncomfortable. And, you know, they couldn't, some of the salons had to turn me down because they didn't have a chair for me.
Right.
So I knew I wasn't the only big girl that went through this.
Yeah, because how many people expect a 700-pound hippo to need a fucking haircut? Bro, that's not discrimination. Trust me. There's many places that don't offer size 15 shoes for me, that don't offer me long enough shirts because I'm 6'6". It's just like nobody expects an elephant to want to get a haircut, bro. Jesus.
So I wanted to create an environment where everybody can come and get pampered and gorgeous and waxed and everything.
Outside of launching a plus-size salon, she actually launched a plus-size nightclub.
Bro, why would you even need to make a place big enough to support an 800-pound person? They can't leave their house.
Too, which was marketed towards the morbidly obese, seemingly as a way to normalize it. The comments on this video announcing the nightclub were pretty disturbing too, with people actually not just supporting the idea of the nightclub, but promoting obesity itself, including those who fetishized it. I love plus size women, the bigger the better. And obviously these are the types of comments that Jamie was looking to attract, which unfortunately just further entrenches the idea that there's nothing wrong with their weight, because other people seem to like it. Unfortunately, as we all know, this is completely false, and in all honesty, dangerous. As we've seen with...
That was her breathing. I'm in a Dwemer ruin in Skyrim, and I thought that was the fucking Steam. No, man, that was not in-game, brother. That was the video, man. That was the video.
The majority of people in this video, almost all of them have died due to some sort of heart complication, such as heart failure or a heart attack. Obesity significantly increases your risk of a heart attack by around 28%, and for every 5-point increase in BMI, it raises your risk of heart failure by a massive percent. At her largest, Jamie Lopez was a
Jesus.
staggering 840 pounds, and if she was the
Jesus! What the fuck? Bro, she's a 4 of me. She's 4 of me. Is there not like a limit? Like, Jesus, bro. Can you imagine the shits that come out of that body? Can you imagine the dumps? Like, it must be like a goddamn fire hydrant of diarrhea spraying out of that fucking thing, bro. Jesus.
average height of around 5'4", that puts her BMI at 144.
Let me check something real quick. Guys, she almost weighed as much as Goldship. A fucking horse. She almost weighed as much as a horse. A athletic horse. That's insane.
Putting her at huge risk
Jesus.
of heart failure, which is unfortunately
Goldshipper.
exactly what happened. In December 2022, she was rushed to a Las Vegas hospital with heart complications, and at the age of just
Do you think a man's dick could get through her fupa to like actually fuck that? Like, do you think they can make it to the vagina, having to get those big old flaps down there? You think that's possible? Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to like use your arm or something, you know, like lift her up with a crane, you know, and then get some like pliers to open that bitch up, and then hopefully get past the third fupa layer to where you can actually impregnate her. You know what I mean?
37 years old, succumbed to her obesity.
Can you imagine how delicious that chick would have tasted? Like if you like ate her, like not ate her out, but like cut her up, like she probably has like Wagyu steak level meat. Like I bet that bitch would taste delicious.
Honestly, terrifying to think that some of these influencers were proponents of the healthy at every size movement.
Yeah, so here's my advice. If you're fat, just stop eating. It's really that easy. Like, comment, subscribe.